TV, this is your post-match analysis video for Saturday's much-needed 2-0 home win against Steve Morrison's Cardiff City at the Den. First up, I'm sorry this video's late. It's very rare I don't put a post-match out on a Sunday. The celebrations from beating from beating Cardiff on Saturday rolled well in to Sunday, and I was a little bit worse for wear Sunday, so no video yesterday. Honestly, I'm getting too old for this shit. As always, let's start by taking a look at the 11 that the gaffer picked to get the job done. And so, 3 changes were made from the team that lost up at Burnley in midweek. We was all calling for either a change of structure or maybe the wing-backs wasn't working, and he changed both wing-backs. It was Bolkowski in goal. 3 centre-backs, Murray Wallace, Jake Cooper, and the skipper, Sean Hutchinson. Jamie Shackleton, right wing-back. Callum Styles, left wing-back. Billy Mitchell came back into the midfield to partner George Saville, and Zion Fleming played in the hole behind Tom Bradshaw and Andreas Valderrama. Okay, so look, changes needed to be made, and we did make those changes. Of course, Billy Mitchell back in with Saville, and I'm not really Saville's biggest fan. I think he blows hot and cold, but we win the game. But the biggest thing for me was the wing-backs. I thought Shackleton was absolutely superb, and you may remember that my mate come on the show who runs the Leeds channel a little while back, Connor, and he said, you know, Shaq's good, very good at this level. Creswell has the potential to play higher. Jekyll and Hyde Creswell, but I'll get onto him later. But Shaq's better at wing-back. And he's also told me that Shackleton going to play left wing-back. But that issue, of course, is now solved with the signing of Styles, hopefully long-term as well, not just on loan to the end of the season. But Shackleton, I thought, was brilliant. I thought he was really good. They didn't get much change out of him at all down that left-hand side. Not only did he defend well, but he got forward, and it made a real difference to... Look, it proves that that formation is a proven formation in football, and it will work. And I'm sure Gary Rowett will be pleased with Shackleton playing on the right and his new signing, especially who got man of the match on the left. And it works, and it was brilliant. Look, I am giving full praise to the manager because he's under pressure and he made changes that a lot of us had seen as well. I'm not saying he didn't because we were saying it. He obviously has seen what we've seen, and as I said, them changes were needed to be made, and he did make them. Big changes, big win needed, and we got the victory. Very rarely in danger, I did feel, if I'm honest. However, I look back at the highlights, as I always do the next day, and weirdly, during the first half and at the start of the second, the majority of the highlights shown from the EFL on YouTube were Cardiff attacks. But I don't really feel that, I said they was really in the game. I thought we done well. I thought we was a dominant side, definitely possession-wise, and I thought we created the better chances. We won the game. However, taking nothing away from us, I think that Cardiff are banging trouble. I don't think they're a good side at all, and I think they'll struggle this year in the division. I'm in fact currently worried for Steve Morrison. Am I worried for him? Well, I love the man, of course I do, but I don't think he'll be at Cardiff too long. As we know, they're, you know, on paper they're a big club, one club city, one of the only teams in Wales in the league, and we know the pressure that comes with that job. And if they don't start picking up results very, very soon, I think Morrow could be back on the old dole queue. But look, he'll get another job in football. He's a good manager. He was a great player. I just don't feel they've, I don't know, with Cardiff. You know, one of them ones again in the Championship, were once a big club, and maybe I still think they are. I know they definitely think they are, but I don't think they are anymore. They got, you know, foreign owners, big investment, but no disrespect to Romeo. They signed Romeo, you know, and he was on loan at Pompey and couldn't get in. He was not good enough for our side. So I don't really feel that they got the pull of signing big signings anymore. So look, the first half, I thought he was intense. I thought he was on the front foot. Styles, and I put this on social media yesterday, to come into that team and play as well as he did, considering he'd only been with his teammates for probably 24 hours, signed late Thursday night, so he would only train with his team Friday. I don't think they do a lot of training Friday. It's probably just a light something and then a bit of lunch and then probably a walkthrough and a chat about some tactics and a team meeting. So he probably hadn't played with those players a great deal in that 24 hours he's been in the club. He's also stepped up a division as well, so to do as well as he did was like, wow, how has this guy been playing in the fucking Division 1, League 1, whatever it is? He was really, really good, and I expect him to build on that progress. On the subject of Styles as well, I know he signed a new contract with Barnsley before he left, because his contract was going to be up at the end of this season, but Barnsley have made him sign a new one before he comes to us. So obviously they don't lose him at the end of the season if he does well. So we're going to have to buy him. We have got the option to buy him. However, now my worry is, he does really well for us, which I want him to do. I don't want him to fail. Of course, I want him to do well. But with that, his stock will be higher, and then at the end of the season, you know, we could go, okay, we've got the option to buy, we'll give you 50p over the course of 53 weeks, like we tried to do with Josh Windass, and they'll say, well, okay, there's your option to buy, but no thanks. We want 2 million plus, and he ends up doing a Darren Huckabee, ends up doing a Chris Wood, and going elsewhere. But look, for now, let's just focus on him being here and giving us a real balance in that side. It knocked Scott Malone out the side, and I actually feel when Malone came on, I thought he played really, really well. If I go through the team, 3 centre-backs, fine. In fact, Jake Cooper, more than fine. He gets a lot of unwarranted shit coops for me, and despite me saying that we had the better of the chances, there was one in either half. One in the first half, he knocks out the front post for a corner and saved a certain effort on goal from Cardiff because someone was poised behind him. And then late in the day when we was 1-0 up, he managed to get a foot on another one or a header. Can't remember what it was, up the MRI seat near the away end. And stopped some, you know, some certain Cardiff danger as well there. So brilliant from Coops. I don't think he gets enough praise from a lot of our fans. I really like him, and I think he does a fantastic job. And I feel he's been made a bit of a scapegoat at times this season, if I'm honest. Through results we've had, we've lost games and people gone, Cooper, fucking shit. Well, why? He was not involved in any way, shape or form in their goal. He has been. Sheffield United away, I'm sure he'll hold his hands up to that one. But a brilliant servant for us. I'm sure now he'll skip on the side in Sean Hutchinson's absence because he, of course, went off injured, and we're hearing now from London News Online that the skipper is going to be out for around 8 weeks with a grade 2 groin tear, but that'll bring Charlie Creswell straight back into the side. I'm going to get onto him very shortly, sorry, because I really want to talk about Creswell because he intrigues me, shall I say? He really, really does. He's gone from champagne to Asti. Now he's gone back to Dom Perignon. He's top of the tree. In his part in not only scoring, but creating. And I feel well, I'm on it now. I'm on the subject. I feel he does better going forward than he does at the back. He scares the shit out of me at the back when he goes on them runs and tries to turn people 360 in his own box or in by a corner flag. But going forward, obviously scored one and set up the other. Let's get into the second half. I was interested to see the reaction from our fans at half-time. I thought, is it going to be boos ringing out here? Because we hadn't really tested the Cardiff keeper. We came forward, we created a lot of chances, a couple of wayward shots over the bar. Fleming again, smashed one over the bar. Billy Mitchell smashed one over the bar. I said this before, don't have a problem with that. I would rather a player do that because otherwise all we're going to do is get the ball, pass it backwards, pass it sideways, across the back line, back to Bart. So, and then Bart pumps it, you lose the ball anyway. So you might as well fucking have a go from distance. And Fleming does that. Mitchell did it on Saturday. And I'm sure Fleming will... Billy won't. Don't think Billy's going to find his shooting boots as much as I love him. Don't think he scored last season or so far this. But Fleming looks very confident for a player. He's just... I'll be honest with you. When Fleming first come in, scored the goal against Palace, saw him at parts after that, and I thought, he looks a little bit lost, even like his body language. But he looks like a completely different man that's come back from injury. He's really got his head round it. Of course, an early injury in your career in a foreign country, that could affect you a little bit. But he actually went back to Sittard after our game against Norwich on a Friday night, and they give him a proper send-off. And I think that's probably a good bit of management from Gary Rowett and the club. You know, go home, have a weekend back in the dam, don't get stoned, but go and enjoy, you know, watching your old club and get a little bit of praise, and let them remind you what the player you are and can be. And he come back, and against Burnley, and again on Saturday, took the responsibility, made it tick, makes that number 10 work well. And now with Shackleton coming up the right-hand side, and Styles as well, who was aggressive on the ball, looking to hurt the opposition, positive coming forward in everything he did, pacey. It looks like that 10 can work now. And Fleming could be the link between that and the strikers. And until late on in the game, the only issue we did have was the strikers. But look, the first goal, substitutions were made. Again, Rowett's changed the formation. He's gone attacking. He brings Tyler Bury on. He brings Scott Malone on. And I thought Malone did really well when he came on because he fucking wants his shirt back now. Maybe a little bit of complacency from him. Now he's got this young buck coming in. The Rotherhithe Risa, Callum Styles. You know, he don't like that. He wants his shirt back, and competition for places is a brilliant thing. On the right-hand side now, Danny Mack, Millwall boy, Jamie Shackleton's on loan. And he may, again, we've got the option to buy him. We may or may not buy Shackleton. But Danny Mack now, he wants his fucking shirt back. And it's brilliant. It's strength in depth and it's competition for places, which will only, as professionals, pit them against each other and they'll push themselves to new levels. So it's all looking good in the hood. But the first goal is from Scott Malone. And again, about Malone and Bury, I never have agreed with, oh, he's really good, you know, but he's better off the bench, bring him off the bench. I'm used to being the belief, you start your best players, you play your best players, right? But Bury is definitely better off the bench. He's a real talent, but he's one to bring on when maybe the chips are down, you need to unlock a door, because 90 minutes I feel he fades in and out a bit. He's only young, he'll probably improve again on what he already has, and he's already exceeded my expectations at the club. But I'm Malone as well, you know, played better when he come on. I've not been his biggest fan for the back end of last season and this season so far, but you got him there for that set piece threat, haven't you? And it's exactly how we score our first goal. Cross comes in, Champagne Charlie rises like an absolute salmon and heads home. Honestly, watch the images back. We'll try and find one and put it on the screen now. But look, he really rose for that, and he's now our top goal scorer with 3 goals so far this season. For all our pressure in the first half, all our intensity, all our good intentions, as I said, we didn't really test their keeper. But as we've learned under Rowett now, firing towards the cold blow lane. I need to get the box at the other end for next season, because as much as I love our box, and I'm only joking, boys, I know you'll be watching, Russ, love you too. But yeah, look, all the action seems to be down the cold blow lane end. And I said, we have learnt that under Rowett, that to be patient, half-time 0-0 at home is absolutely fine. After that, I said, I didn't really feel Cardiff were in the game. I thought they were quite scrappy, didn't really test us. Although, again, having said that, if you look back at the highlights, as I said earlier in the show, that they hit the post twice, didn't they? The first half one, it actually comes in from Shackleton's side, and the guy gets in front, I think it's Murray Wallace at the far post, comes off the post, and then hit the post again in the second half. But having said that, I don't feel they offer a lot, Cardiff. It may be a little bit of contradictory there, but that's what I'm going with, and that's what how I felt the game went. We eventually need the second goal, and we get it, and again, it's a fucking great goal. Charlie Creswell, head up, quick free kick. Again, not the type of goals you see us score. We usually fucking diver on a free kick, don't we, and send the big boys up and take a step back and have a look, one arm up, and by the time we've done that, Cooper's got 3 men around him, and the box is absolutely full up with players. So Creswell, quick look up, bink into the channel, great one from Afobe. Same run he made last week at home, or Reading 2 weeks ago at home, whenever it was last week, when he was on the shoulder. I spoke about it in my last post-match. He's on the shoulder of the defender, and people go, fucking hell, Afobe, he didn't run. Honeyman didn't pull the pass off. I said Afobe made the right run. It's the exact same run at the other end of the stadium, but this time Creswell puts it perfect, but Afobe had so much to do still before he scored that goal. And he seems to score the harder ones, Bennett, and not the easier ones, doesn't he? But look, a goal scorer. People go to me, oh, you love Benik Afobe. I don't. I love Jake Cooper. I love Billy Mitchell. I love Callum Stiles. I love Bartosz Bulkowski. I absolutely don't love Benik Afobe as a player. I don't think he's an all-round player. But I think the club we are, and what we've got out of him from one season on loan, and in terms of getting him back this season, look at the stats. He scored 13 goals last season. That's it. End of story. I don't give a fuck about anything else. And he scores a really, really good goal and proves that you don't become a bad player overnight. He's a goal scorer. He's what he is. And if he's given a chance, he will score goals. But he had a lot to do there. Turns the defender, and a fucking deft, beautiful, delicate, saucy, naughty chip over the goalkeeper. And it's 2-0, and we're rocking all over the world in South Bermondsey. And look, as I said, my full-time reaction, I alluded to it in my preview. Don't panic. Call the Jets. We're 7-8 games into the season, and before, when I wanted Rowett out, we was at a point where we was 20 games in, we couldn't really sign anyone else. It was around Christmas time, I'm sure. I can see now with the players we've got, he's buying the sort of players that we want him to buy. Stiles, Fleming, you know, we want these sort of players. Players that are pacey, will take responsibility on the ball, will attack, will go straight for the jugular every time they get it. And you know, in my mind, that was why I said, look, let's not panic at the start of the season. We get the win. As I said, we're rocking all over the world. We're back on track. And it's a 2-0 win at home. And it's exactly what we needed. And everyone was fucking, that's why I was out so like silly o'clock Sunday. Because it was a good performance, yes. Not a fantastic one, I didn't feel. And the opposition weren't great. But take nothing away, it was a relief. It was a joy, and just say the relief more than anything from getting 3 points back on the board. League table, as I said, does the league table lie? Well, not over 46 games, but 7-8, yes, and we've gone boom, straight back up there. So, not a drama. Sunderland away, we beat them, we could go back into the top 6. But that's a video for another day. I hope you enjoyed this post-match analysis, and you could see me again tonight. If you want to, we will be live streaming the Den Debate. We are live from 8:30 PM, me, Kenny and Joe, to reflect on Saturday's game and the Burnley game as well. So I'll see you at 8:30 live on YouTube. If you fancy it, please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.